Dearest Agent of the Universe, it has been a while since I have written to you. I seem to have got a little lost in North America in my battle to constantly shed my mind of all the crap that just keeps being thrown at it. Other people's judgments, fears, and ignorance. So much so that there are days where I feel I am up against a wall facing a firing squad of very well-dressed, educated, but not necessarily wise people. My largest hurdle, which at times seems insurmountable, has been the shovels of fear dished out at me here. The need to prepare for the future and all its unknowns. Make sure you have enough savings. Make sure you have a health insurance policy. Take antibiotics back with you just in case, and the list goes on and on. And yet even though I was fully prepared and armed when I left Cabo Verde, none of it mattered. Because I could never have imagined or controlled or bought a policy that would have removed all the blockades that have been imposed on me all the way throughout my trip. In fact, it has not been savings, policies, vaccines, or any other item that got me over all my hurdles. It has been people, friends, family, and complete strangers. All of which has made me think that if we all started to work as a collective, we would no longer need all the other things that fear keeps telling us to invest in. As I've wandered around the so-called civilized world, I've understood that what we really need is more community, more connections to each other, more movement as a collective rather than individuals. Because when fires have razed down homes, floods have washed away families, it was and it is people who have saved each other, helped each other, and provided for each other. It was not the big screen TV, the piece of art on the wall, the insurance policy in the drawer, the watch, the car, the clothes. It was a fellow human. And yes, well, in some cases, a rubber dinghy. We really should consider investing in humanity a whole lot more than we do. And it is exactly because people are so important to our welfare on every level, because of the healing, energetic exchange that happens when positive, high-vibrating energy moves between people, that why I want to explore what you and I can grow between us. Because our energy is so strong and so bright that I almost believe that between us we could grow a life, a forest, that echoes laughter, creativity, light, joy, trust, and more unknowns than a magic show. Because if there's one thing that I have learned in the last 3 months wandering around North America, it is this. It is so hard to find people on my wavelength, who see me and actually hear me, who speak their truth, who see themselves in all their forms, who are honestly dedicated to being the best person they can be, who are transparent, who don't play games, who know how to communicate, who are honest about their fallibilities and who get up every day and try to erase their traumas, their fears, who have let go of their past and who are not afraid of change, who enter every interaction with an open heart without judgment and with kindness and compassion, who know how to say they are sorry, to ask for what they need, and whose self-worth has stepped forward and refuses to be beaten down by anyone. And when that battle wells up in my head between the mortal and the celestial, the former seeking a label for us, while the latter asks for no labels or boxes, I step out of the concrete and into nature. Because as many great yogis have known before me, nature is our greatest teacher, as it remains the closest and most pure manifestation of the universe. The day I wrote this, I wandered aimlessly until I found myself in the middle of a stream, literally. As I sat on a rock, cuddled up to other large flat rocks which connected one side of the stream to the other, this is what I'd observed. On one side of the stream, the water flowed quickly, with no thought of the obstacles in its way, hitting them at high speed and then rushing forward, as if in an immense rush to get to the end. As I got to the tiny waterfalls, all the individual water molecules rushed forward as one, catapulted off the edge, slamming to the bottom, carrying on with no sense of anything around it. As I watched that side of the stream, my heartbeat increased, and I felt myself feeling out of sorts, in a hurry, even though I was sitting still. It reminded me of my life in the fast lane. Hundreds and thousands of us waking up, rushing, commuting to work, wondering how to get ahead, how to survive, how to make more, drenched in fear of losing our security, our partners, our homes, our material wealth, sweating out the gossip of others and the fear, always the fear, of trying to control the unknown through healthcare, insurance policies, investments, and so forth. Barging through work, then flying off to the gym or a meeting, rushing to the store, to our kids, our families. Never a minute to stop, to consciously breathe, to just be. Along the way, hitting into obstacles, barriers, hurtful words, actions, never realizing that they were sinking to the bottom of my soul, into the house of trauma. Never making the time to grieve, to heal, to face the trauma head on and kicking it back from whence it arrived. Nope, I, like so many others, just kept flowing faster and faster forward until everything was a reaction to that which preceded it. Till I literally felt like that stream. I failed to see any of the beauty that shows up in life every day. I forgot to see the positive and gift in every reality. My personality shifted constantly as it was a product of external objects and people that I kept bumping and bouncing off at high speed. Even as I write this, I can feel my heartbeat increase. As I watched that side of the stream, I realized that it was definitely pure yang, and the way I had for so long lived my relationships. Jumping in, rushing forward, wanting to know the end even before I was in the middle. Forcing it one way or the other, trying to bend it to my will. Never allowing it to flow the path of least resistance, the one defined by love, compassion, kindness, and understanding, and of course, open communication. Then there was the other side of the stream. Slow, lethargic, which when confronted with a barrier slowly moved over it, around it, always at a trickle, sometimes finding a place of stagnation. It felt depressed, slow, sad, and devoid of any energy. As I watched it, I felt anxiety well up within me, as it reminded me of another point in my life when I had hit rock bottom. One where I just existed instead of lived. Like that side of the stream, I lost motivation. I grew moss that strangled my organs, my lungs, my very being. At some points, the water just stopped, like it had died and decided not to continue on its journey anymore. It was a side of the stream that had more rocks, branches, and barriers than the other side, as the fast-flowing, manic water had swept everything in its path aside, good and bad. The barriers were all things I had allowed to stay in my life, that I had kept hitting up against, so I could blame all of it for stopping me, instead of course taking responsibility for my own life. Just as there was only mania on the other side, this side was pure sadness. Hopelessness, the point of having just given up because it, like me, kept thinking the world was against me. That no matter what I did, it kept getting blocked. Not understanding that to remove those obstacles, all I had to do was change the course within me. To find the emotional and mental stability within me to ignite that power that is within every one of us, so that I understood that all those rocks, branches were my lessons to be learnt. That instead of butting heads up with them, allowing them to continually block me and slow me down, until I just lay flat and gave up, I should stop running head on into them. Then there was the middle. The middle. As soon as I shifted my focus to the middle, I knew I was home. My heartbeat dropped. My shoulders were no longer knocking at my ears or slouched at my breasts. They were exactly where they were meant to be anatomically. My whole spine lengthened, space opened up within me, and I felt a peace descend over me. It had just as many rocks as the yin slow side of the stream, but here the water flowed neither fast or slow. It ambled along, bubbling as if laughter kept erupting from it. It gently flowed over, around, alongside the rocks and branches, almost as if it were caressing them with love, calming them and telling them, "Hey, hi, don't worry, I'm not here to stay or to disturb. I'm just passing through and enjoying this interaction of opposites, different energies. dancing with you, seeing you, knowing we are one in the same stream, but our journeys are different. So let's not get entangled or fight. Let's just say hello, be kind, and then move on. I could hear the water speak, each molecule telling the other, hey, it feels so nice to flow in harmony, to know we started at the same place and will end at the same place, and in between that we are not alone, that we have each other. Hey, look at that squirrel, allow it to have some of us. And that butterfly, let it sit for as long as it needs before continuing on its journey. And the trees, thank you for the shade, for protecting us, for sharing your energy with us, so as we meander here and there, we know that we are never alone, that you are always with us. That together with the rocks, squirrels, ducks, birds, insects, we are a community of love, each completing the other. As I sat on a rock in the middle of the stream, at the edge where the water flowed over, it was incredible how unlike the other two sides, one a torrent, the other a trickle. The middle just gently dropped, foamed as if to celebrate how well it had negotiated the ledge and come over gently, and then danced away, continuing its journey, not once looking back or trying to go back, because that would have freaked me out. I was that river, and that river was I. I had been on both sides, and it had nearly killed me. And then yoga had come along, and I entered the middle. How much easier life became, how much more beauty and tranquility filled it. It is not life that had changed, because I was still in that stream. It was I who had changed, and as a result the path I was on changed. But still, I was in the same stream, just in a different place, living it from a different perspective. And as I sat there, taking the path of least resistance, I understood that I had to come back to trust when it came to you. To trust that this, us, will flow as it was meant to flow, but only if we did not resist it, fear it, or block it. We could choose any side of the stream, and each would lead us to the same end, death. But each would give us a different journey. It is not to say we will not find obstacles in our path, because there will always be an obstacle. But maybe we could stop seeing them as obstacles and more as items to remind us how privileged we have been to find each other and to find such companionship. To trust in love and to trust in the other. I guess what I'm really asking is that you step into the middle of the stream and flow with me gently, knowing sometimes we will take different paths over the rock, but we will meet again on the other side, and that always we will flow beside the other in harmony and tranquility, because we are flowing at the same pace, the same wavelength, the same frequency. To know that I find great joy in having you by my side as I wander through the stream of life, an individual water molecule from you, but still connected to you. Because remember this, the stream, the river, the ocean are all made up of trillions of individual water molecules, each experiencing a different journey. But each is a part of the whole, because without the individual molecules, there would be no whole, and without the whole, there would be no us. Get rid of water, plants, animals, and the whole disappears. And as we humans keep insisting on flowing on either side of the stream, where we either bulldoze everything around us or slowly kill everything around us, including us, the middle, the path of least resistance is disappearing. Which makes my heart weep, as only in the middle does the whole exist in harmony and balance. The whole being relationships, our well-being, the earth, the solar system, the universe. No good ever came of a world that is just yang or yin. Try to expand the middle until the middle is the whole, requires a combination of both internal and external change. So don't cut down a tree, flow around it. Don't kill an animal, find a way to live with it. Don't pollute the ocean and the sky, but ask them to help you and you it. Don't hide your heart, share it. Find harmony in you, and the effect of that cause will be harmony in your journey, which if enough of us seek it, find it, and engage in it, it will resonate across the planet, bringing it back to where it belongs, in the middle of the stream, where everything sings out loud, vibrates and bubbles beautiful energy, and bathes at all that comes in its path with love. Love, the enchanted yogi.